Well, I'll start. Just obviously, great opening weekend to have three opponents and do what you're supposed to do against them. When the situations got dicey, Kansas State, the first set early today, seemed like this team was never phased and kind of just knows what it is and expected to come out and do what it ultimately did.
So much more experienced than a year ago. And I think that's a great observation. We never got rattled at any point in time during the weekend. And today the serving and passing was better. We were not serving and passing very well the first two times out. It caused us to struggle. And today we were passing the ball where Taylor could run the show. We had 450 against a really good team. I really think all three of these teams have a chance of making the NCAA tournament. Kansas State, I think, is really, really good. UMBC's been in the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row. And I think this team is going to fare very well, UC Davis. So I think all three of them could be there. So for us to get 3 wins against teams that are going to win a lot of matches is really beneficial for our RPI.
It seemed like you tinkered with what to do on that right side over the weekend. And early in the season, you're trying to figure out the lineup you're going to have come Big Ten season. But what did you learn out of this first weekend?
That we got some people who can play out there, and we thought we did. But really, for a year and a half, our goal has been developing offense behind the setter, which means middles when they go off 1 foot behind, and your right side players when they're coming in running whatever they're going to run. And we never got there last year. We were, because of that, we were easier to defend than we needed to be. But now we were just flooding that zone with hitters. And 2 nights, Ken is really good 2 nights. Last night it was Lizzie Carr that was great. She opened a lot of eyes. Our middles are going off 1 foot like nobody's business. So it's been a real treat to watch that finally start to come to fruition.
I just asked Taylor this, and she said when you're the setter, you have to be well versed in every skill, and she showed that tonight, I thought.
Yeah, she's getting better. She's one thing she has to do first, which is what she's doing, is become a great setter, and she's making tremendous progress. She's a good blocker. She's 6'1" and jumps well, has big hands, so that helps. You always like to have a big blocker if you're going to compete in the Big Ten against the size that we compete against. Defense is the area that she has to really, really focus on. And tonight she made some plays, which was good. She ran after balls and got, as a setter, she ran balls down, which was good. It's a big transition, and you don't do it just in 1 year. We still got a lot of work to do with all these people.
You talked last week about Raven being kind of an ultimate leader of this team with her play maybe more so, but she's willing to speak up.
Yeah.
I think Eve's a leader maybe in just her mannerisms and keeping people loose and
you think?
Having fun a little bit. So how do you need kind of that balance of your top players being different personalities?
Oh, it's great. It's exactly what you need. And you're right, both of them are growing into that leadership role. And it starts by being accountable yourself. And both of them are great leaders because they do the work. They put in the time. They're committed. They're dedicated. They do all the things that leaders are supposed to do. And on top of that, they're elite athletes and, all-American volleyball players. So, those two are really taking charge. It's been so fun to see Raven has struggled going behind the setter.
Yeah.
Tell the coach from UC Davis that she struggled going off 1 foot because she, and we keep talking all year. I talked to her for 3 years. I've been talking to her about it's all about rhythm, Raven. You got to have some rhythm. You got to have rhythm. It's like a high jumper when they high jump. There's that rhythm in their approach. Well, she finally found the rhythm, and so it's been fun. And Eva's just the most fierce competitor you're ever going to find, and that's the biggest compliment I can make to somebody.
Oh yeah. So after a couple of wins coming in today, what were a few or a couple specific focus points you had for the team in general, or specific players?
Yeah, I really nothing particular that I brought out to players. I mean, they know during the week the things that we're working on, and what shots they're trying to develop and different things. But I think just what I talked about, the ability to run the offense from the right side behind the setter. Once we start to do that, we become twice as hard to defend. We're already difficult because our 2 left side hitters, Eva and Chloe, can hit it out of the back row. So that keeps the block honest. But if they don't have to worry about the right side, they can focus on about 60% of the net. Now they got to worry about 60% of the net and people flying out of the back row. and it makes it really, really hard to defend. So I thought we made real progress in that this week.
Yeah. And so as you guys were just like, talking about, Eva's kind of coming into like this leadership position almost. She seems to hold a lot of energy on the court, and she's like a true Boilermaker almost, as you might say.
Yeah.
What would you say like have been her biggest improvements like so far this season from last season?
Passing and defense.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been a born attacker. I mean, she's got a great arm. She jumps well. She hammers the ball. Now, she's better than she was, but that's been what her strength has been. Her improvement has come in first ball contacts, passing the serve, and her defense. Really, her freshman year, she was a liability defensively. Meaning she just didn't understand how hard to play, where to be, how to make plays. Had a hard time on any kind of floor defense. When she went to the floor, we thought she was going to get hurt all the time, because she just kind of stuck when she went to the floor. And now she's just really smooth and developed those floor skills really well. I don't think I've ever had a player develop in 2 years the way she has.
Nice.
It's been a treat, yeah.
And so what are the preparations, like how does it shift at all, preparations for like the away game coming up in terms of being in a different territory?
No, that part won't be different. It will be just a new experience for us that we'll have to get used to. And we're not playing a lot of freshmen, so most of these guys have been through the wars before going on the road. I think that the focus will continue to be on what we've been trying to get better at. We thought we were going to pass pretty well going into this weekend, and then we didn't the first two matches to our level with the experience we have in that position. So that will be something we'll really try to break down a little bit more and get some more fundamental technique work in there. And we have to toughen the serve up more. Mm-hmm. So really the two basic skills of the game, most basic skills, the serve and the pass, is where our focus will be.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.